Welcome to Wisdom of the World. Today I'm going to tell a story from Martinique, an island in the Caribbean. It's about, does what is destined to happen also always happen? The story is called Under the Tub, and it goes like this. Once upon a time in Martinique, the little corner of the island, there was a parrot. And that parrot stopped talking normally, like all the other birds did and do. It only could say, An babeli andalabai, which means the beauty is under the tub. Now that didn't make any sense, and all the other birds and the people all thought that that bird, had some loose screws and gone totally crazy. But then 20 years later, what that bird was saying started to make sense. Let me tell you that story. So, somewhere on the island, there was a shack where a mother lived with her two daughters. The first daughter was called Armancia. She was an ill-mannered little thing with a little mouth, little eyes, teensy little ears, but the biggest of bad tempers. Now, that only leads to pimples, not to great beauty, as you know. The second girl was called Anastasia, and she was beautiful. As beautiful. She had a beautiful heart, and her kindness made her face glow. And she moved gracefully as a coconut palm. And when she walked, she danced through the grass. It's beautiful to see. Now, all that beauty did not make her mother love her. Because when she saw Anastasia, she was reminded of her baptism, which was very common in those days. Because on that day, a visitor, a lady in a big old-fashioned type of red dress came, and she turned out to be a she-devil. Now, having your baptism visited by a she-devil does nothing to increase your mother's love. As a matter of fact, the mother first distrusted her, then feared her, and finally hated her, and made her life hell. Poor Anastasia had to tend to the fire, blowing in huge clouds of smoke, scrape the pots black forever, do all the washing for the whole family at the river, and do all the gardening work, all the weeding, all the harvesting, all the everything. Now, in spite of all this, she only grew more beautiful. And her mother hated her even more because of that. One day, as she was weeding through a row of carrot plants, a handsome man wearing all white on a horse came by and heard her singing, and her voice was as beautiful as she was. So he looked at where that beautiful singing comes from, and then he looked further and he said, that is the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. So he got off his horse, they got to talk, and they fell in love. They touched each other and they talked about who knows what. He was a real gentleman, very well mannered. And he said, I will come back and talk to your mother. tomorrow. So when the girl came home late that night, her mother sensed there was something different about her. You know, when you have talked to somebody you love or the first time you meet, it's just something different. Your eyes twinkle, your face glows. It's just a little different than usual. And her mother sensed that. And so, and Anastasia was very open and told her the whole story about that handsome man and how he was going to come and visit them. So the next day, her mother whitewashed the house, renewed the straw on the roof, and made sure the porch was all immaculately scrubbed. And she stood on the porch together with Armancia, the other daughter, the ugly daughter, because the mother thought, well, I should try to get this one married off before she turns this, with her bad manners, she turns into a lonely cactus. Probably the mother was right. So our handsome friend goes down from his horse and is greeted on the porch by the mother and the other daughter. And he asked about Anastasia, the beautiful one. And the mother says, oh, that girl, she has such a bad temper. She's terrible. She ran off. She's probably off somewhere on the horizon. And then the other daughter, the ugly one, told him all kinds of stories, showed him around and all of this. But he, in his mind, was only with the beautiful girl. He could hear her laughing. He could see her face. He could see her eyes. So after a while, he thought that this was a hopeless case. And he got on his horse to leave. And he actually left. Now, at that very moment, our parrot friend started to fly around, squeaking and squawking all along around an old tub that was turned around. It was one of those tubs that usually you feed the pigs water in, but it was turned upside down. And he flew all around saying, the real beauty is under the tub, the real beauty is under the tub, the real beauty is under the tub. And all the other birds also started to fly along because they thought that was a real cool thing to do. So at first, our handsome man did not pay any notice, but finally he got a bit curious. And so he got off the horse and he peeked under the tub while the mother and the daughter were protesting and saying, don't look, you don't need to look there. But there she was, his beauty, bound and gagged by her own mother. He freed her, they kissed, and they got on a horse and they went off to brighter futures. They never looked back. And the parrot, right after that, just dropped that as a doornail on the ground. His destiny fulfilled. Now, if you have any questions, comments on the stories or suggestions for another one, I'm happy to hear them. Thank you.